So I should really be working on a paper, but I kind of got ahead of myself and I went to the library today in preparation for when all my final papers are in, and I have a good 2 or 3 weeks in December just to read and work on stuff, I guess. I hit up the Simone de Beauvoir section, grabbed the call number and wandered onto the third floor, and I came away with a stack. Unfortunately, I used the self-checkout, and even though all the books scanned through and appeared on my receipt, the security tag on one of the books did not scan properly, and so when I went to walk out the door of the library, I set off the alarm, and the poor girl at the desk had to wait while I removed all the books from my bag and then shoved them all back in after she'd gone through all 7 of them and scanned them to determine which one had set off the alarm. But I thought I would just show you what I got, what I will probably be reading in December. The first one is a nice small one, Force of Circumstance by Simone de Beauvoir. I don't know anything about these apart from the titles. This is a Penguin book that has been rebound, as university libraries often did back in the day. I think this is a novel translated by Richard Howard from the French. Or no, perhaps this is more of her autobiography. I think this is more of her autobiography because in the introduction she is talking about memoirs of a dutiful daughter. Think it might be. Anyway, I'm not sure what this is, but it is Force of Circumstance by Simone de Beauvoir. Then I picked up what appears to be a volume of letters, Simone de Beauvoir, A Transatlantic Love Affair, Letters to Nelson Algren. I've never heard of Nelson Algren, but it does appear that Nelson Algren was an American friend or lover of Simone. I knew nothing about this book until I came across it on the shelf, and this does appear to be a bit of a chronology of their lives to begin with. I think there is a little bit of a foreword. Or no, there's no foreword. There's just a highly deceptive chronology in the front that lists their birth dates. That led me to believe there would be a bit of a biographical aspect to this book to begin with, but no, it's literally their letters in, it looks like the starting in the 1940s, their letters to each other, so this should be quite interesting. It's kind of heavy, so that one just barely fit in my bag. Then I also picked up All Said and Done, also by Simone de Beauvoir. And this is translated by Patrick O'Brien. 1974, first English translation. I know nothing about this one either. Then I have Prime of Life, also by de Beauvoir. Let's see, do we have a translator and publication date? Translated by Peter Green, published in 1962 in English, first French edition in 1960, and it is dedicated to Sartre. Once again, I know nothing about this one either. 3, 4. I think I left a book in my bag. I'll grab it in a minute. But I also have All Men Are Mortal. I know nothing about this one either. I went in quite blind, in fact. Oh, this is a first edition. Copyright 1955. Once again, dedicated to Sartre. I cannot. Oh, there we go. Translated by Leonard M. Friedman. I thought for a moment I couldn't find a translator again. Then I also have something called Hearts and Minds. This is a biography of sorts. 1977, Axel Madison, I'm not sure. But Hearts and Minds, The Common Journey of Simone de Beauvoir and Sartre. Should be an interesting one. I assume it's going to talk about how they met. It starts in the summer of 29, goes up until the spring of 77, and a final chapter called Exit with Laughter. So I assume it will be about their relationship, which I think will be quite interesting. And now I have one more book that apparently I left in my bag, and I am going to go and try and find it because I know for sure I had 7. I did have 7. This is not Simone de Beauvoir at all, but she wrote the introduction for it, which is why it showed up when I did an author search in the library system. The title is in French, La Bâtarde, probably mispronouncing that, but it's got a preface by Simone de Beauvoir, translated by Derek Coltman, and it is written by Violet Leduc. Apparently it's an autobiography, and it does appear to be a wartime autobiography for the most part. Smells like old book. I just thought it would be an interesting way to expand off of what I've been reading. Simone de Beauvoir thought it was good enough to write a preface for it, then it must be fairly decent.